United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, in collaboration with the UN Habitat and the United Nations Capital Development Fund, held a 2-day meeting on 26th and 27th November at the Protea Hotel in Livingstone, Zambia, under the DA15 project, Expanded and Resilient Urban Fiscal Space for an Inclusive and Resilient COVID-19 Recovery, which is designed to equip municipalities with the capacity to assess and improve their financial management, enabling them to address complex urban challenges like rapid population growth, climate change, and economic disparities, hence making them resilient, inclusive, and prosperous cities. This meeting gathered experts in municipal finance, experts from target cities, relevant government institutions, think tanks, and academia from the 6 participating countries to review and validate the draft financial assessment report by the Lusaka City Council.
This particular meeting, I think, is important in that it is looking at the situation of Lusaka City and using Lusaka as an example. But as you've seen, they brought in participants from other cities. They brought in participants from Rwanda, from Kenya, from Tanzania, from various countries in Eastern and Southern Africa to really learn from this study that was done on Lusaka. To look at what the study findings are, what the lessons learned are, and what they can take away to ensure that they build resilient, sustainable cities. One of the key points, some of the key points that they're going to be looking at, for example, is the issue around data.
We know that without proper data, then we can't manage proper service delivery. So for me, just the last 3 months that the steering committee has been sitting, I have seen how much they've been built where capacity building is concerned. And I'm hoping that we can now start working on trying to build a proper and resilient city ourselves as a local authority.
In this assessment, Lusaka City Council focused on the 6 key dimensions that provide a comprehensive framework for evaluating its financial performance. 1. Liquidity and solvency. 2. Fiscal autonomy. 3. Operating performance. 4. Collection efficiency. 5. Asset management. And 6. Accounting and reporting. These dimensions help to establish the current status and progress of Lusaka City while highlighting areas that require further improvement to boost the city's revenue and fiscal resilience.
Lusaka is an up-and-coming city. I was last in Lusaka 10-15 years before. The change in Lusaka is significant. It's been, it's almost like night and day. So it's a really rapidly growing city. And because it's rapidly growing, it's a city where things are moving really fast. So my guess is that there has been a lot of learning, positive, but also negative, which in itself is positive because whatever has not worked well in Lusaka during this period of rapid growth, it will be a learning lesson to other up-and-coming cities. But of course, Nairobi, that is here also and is represented, will have a lot to share because Nairobi has seen its share of challenges.
Nairobi has a population of 5 million people during the day, and this could go as far as 5 million people during the night, and as far as 7 million during the day, because people come from the surrounding counties to do business and other activities in the city. As you know, it's also the capital of Nairobi, of Kenya. So we have to build infrastructure for these people all the time. And one of the things that we have seen is, for example, on the housing has not been adequate. The housing has not been of the right standard. And we have started a program of urban renewal. And I think Lusaka could benefit from such a program to make use of the land on which stands the older buildings that have lower capacity and replace them with the higher capacity residential neighborhoods. That's really important. The next thing that Lusaka could do and benefit from Kenya, in particular from Nairobi, is the automation of revenue collection using what we call a unified business permit model, where we asked our businesses to pay for just an individual permit for all the needs they have, whether it's hygiene or health or just business permit. But we offer them the opportunity to buy one permit that encompasses all those requirements. That way, you reduce downtime on the business and you improve efficiency on revenue collection, which is what we have seen in Nairobi. Very significant improvement and increase from the previous financial year, from 8.9 billion to 12.8 billion shillings in just one financial year. So that is a key thing that Lusaka could borrow from Kenya.
From the various expert keynote speeches, presentations, and panel discussions, this meeting provided a valuable opportunity to share experiences and lessons learned with other cities.
All the panelists were absolutely brilliant speakers, and there was so much to pick up from. But I think some of the things which was very evident is that we need to create this fiscal space. We need to increase our revenues. And there were very practical solutions that were given throughout this panel discussion about how can we increase revenue sources? How can we expand our revenue sources? And, so sometimes very basic things like sensitizing the public to the kind of taxes we want them to pay. Just actually reminding them that they have to pay taxes, right, in order to collect taxes. These are very simple things, but they make a big difference when it comes to revenue collection. Because the mayor talked about how lack of finances is something that prevents her from having that long-term planning and building resilience. And that's very profound. Yeah, if you don't have the money, you're always tending to your very basic needs, the immediate needs, and you don't have time to think about long-term planning. So this assessment, is very, very important in order to build long-term planning and resilience.
Just also help you have an open mind, and then just realize that to build the resilience, of course, we can't do it alone as politicians. We have to have this team. And some of the things that were brought up, especially from the other cities, you now realize those other cities, to be where they are today, to build better cities than ourselves, they've gone through some of these steps. And for example, Nairobi mentioned about them being cashless, completely cashless. This is something that Lusaka must learn from. So coming from a meeting like this, I know we have to really go cashless. We've got to have data. And we had people from central government that we had different views. And then coming out of a meeting, now we can think on the same level. And then things that they know or that they think that the local authority has been doing or working with them. Now I have a chance to actually tell them, yes, you said A, B, C, D, but it's not really happening in the local authority. So I'm hoping that when they go back, they can also discuss these things.
Very interesting to find all these different officials from all the 16 different. This is a great learning experience. The peer-to-peer learning, what they learn from each other, I think that's invaluable. We, from the UN and our partners, we really cannot provide that sort of, knowledge to them. So I really want them to learn from each other. And because what works, what doesn't work. Some people have tried, some cities have tried something and that worked or not. So that peer learning is what I want them to take away from this.
We remain hopeful that these synergies and robust efforts being made today by the goodwill of our leaders will indeed make our beautiful African cities resilient and prosperous for the next generations to come.
Rosevine Creatives. You imagine it, we create it.